The successful launch of the Blue Origin's new Shepard rocket is ushering in a new era of consumer space travel.
People who say they go into space, that they come back changed. I can't wait to see what it's going to do to me.
The richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, hit the news as he flew into space and back in a new Shepard launch vehicle owned by his business Blue Origin for a suborbital journey with a record-breaking crew, marking yet another significant turning point in the development of private spaceflight. How does Jeff Bezos do this? Keep watching this video to know more about his fascinating man travels the Earth and beyond. 9 days after his British rival Richard Branson took his rival space tourism company Virgin Galactic on a successful initial suborbital flight in New Mexico, the US billionaire and creator of Amazon also scheduled to fly from a desert site in West Texas. As for Jeff Bezos, space exploration is one of his earliest interests. According to biographer Stone, Bezos was motivated to go into space after viewing the Apollo 11 moon landing on his family's black and white television when he was 5 years old. The lunar landing took place 54 years ago. A genuine Wright Flyer piece of fabric as well as a pair of Amelia Earhart's flying goggles were carried inside the new Shepard capsule. In 1982, when he was the Palmetto High School valedictorian in Miami, he spoke about his aspirations for the future. Blue Origin was inspired by some of his concepts. Following his graduation, he revealed his lofty vision for the future of civilization in space in an interview with the Miami Herald. The specifications of the new Shepard stated that it would technically only travel up to the edge of space, or the so-called Kármán line, which was established by an international aeronautics authority as a distinction between Earth's atmosphere and space. Bezos was expected to go higher than Branson did at 86 kilometers, but only by 100 kilometers. Bezos traveled with 3 people who trusted him with their lives: his brother Mark Bezos, renowned aviator Wally Funk, and 18-year-old Oliver Darman, who had just graduated from high school. Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' private space business, had never launched a rocket carrying passengers before today. Bezos intended to demonstrate the safety of his vehicle and the readiness of Blue Origin to sell tickets for its 11-minute suborbital flights by becoming the first to launch. By the norms of spaceflight, the trip was incredibly quick. About 11 minutes later, everything came to an end when the passenger capsule parachuted to the ground and the Bezos brothers, Funk and Damon, got out, becoming with the light. The Blue Origin rocket had risen into the sky with a rumble that rang throughout the West Texas desert. After blasting through the atmosphere with a sonic boom, the rocket was back on the launch pad and was standing tall. Blue Origin had made space travel for this crew feel almost as easy as same-day delivery. The crew will gaze back at the Earth's curvature via what Blue Origin claims are the largest windows ever utilized in space travel, when the 11-minute voyage is its weightlessness. The capsule will then use a last-minute retro thrust technology to expel a pillow of air for a soft landing at 1.6 kilometers an hour in the Texas desert as it falls back to Earth under parachutes. Brokers informed the New York Times that neither Bezos nor Branson appear to have purchased coverage should they be injured during their search for space, even if the new Shepard itself is probably insured. Questions about their insurance coverage, however, were either denied or left unanswered by Branson and Blue Origin. Regarding its longer-term pricing plan or how rapidly it will increase its frequency of its launches, Blue Origin has not provided any information. The following flight is most likely to take place in September or October, according to Chief Executive Bob Smith. According to Smith, the willingness to pay continues to be quite high for those interested in upcoming flights. There seems to be a pool of potential customers for the business. In an auction to become the first paying passenger, more than 6,000 participants from at least 143 nations participated, but the $28 million winning bidder ultimately cancelled his voyage. Funk and Damon went into space as the oldest and youngest humans ever, respectively. The new Shepard suborbital space tourism rocket, with Blue Origin, wants to employ to transport wealth thrill seekers on high-flying joy flights in the coming months and years, completed its first crewed mission with this trip. The 4 passengers were secured in the new Shepard crew capsule just before the rocket fired its engines at 8:12 a.m. CT from Blue Origin's launch facility in rural Texas, sending the vehicle blazing past the speed of sound up to more than 65 miles above the desert landscape, peaking at an altitude of 351,210 feet. The flight's path highest point allowed the guests to disembark and float around in weightlessness for around 3 minutes, while taking in expansive vistas of the planet and the universe. Reporters on the ground could see the launch as the rocket raced through the near clear Texas sky with a flowering contrail. As the rocket engine's dazzling flames soared into the sky, it almost resembled a star on a planet. On Blue Origin's live stream, Bezos and the crew could be heard cheering as they roamed around the capsule during the flight's microgravity phase. 6 years after founding Amazon, Bezos created Blue Origin in 2000 with the intention of lowering the cost and increasing the accessibility of space travel. Some of his business rivals, most notably Richard Branson and Elon Musk, launched their space projects at roughly the same time. The suborbital New Shepard aircraft is the company's first fully functional piece of space gear, despite Bezos' grandiose otherworldly aspirations, which include spinning orbital space stations where people can live and work. Bezos also made the decision to board the space tourism spaceship as one of the first passengers and demonstrate of his faith in the safety of the craft, much like Branson and Virgin Galactic did just 9 days before. Regarding millionaires in space, there has been a lot of backlash, including a recent online petition with more than 162,000 signatories urging Bezos never to return to Earth. Bezos, who is estimated to be worth $200 billion, has virtually entirely supported the business himself. Critics worry that despite repeated assurances of kindness and benefit to a devastated Earth, the ultra-rich see space travel as their own private escape route. However, Blue Origin and other billionaire-backed space corporations frequently tout how their innovations will lead to the democratization of space, allowing everyone, not only astronauts trained by the government, to enjoy the thrill of space travel. The majority of people will find these early suborbital space tourism flights to be too expensive, and this is not likely to alter anytime soon. Suborbital means that the New Shepard rocket and capsule system doesn't produce nearly enough energy to stay in space for longer than a few minutes. However, the business is also developing a lunar lander that it believes to assist NASA missions, as well as much larger rocket for that reason, called New Glenn. Bezos has also discussed the idea of O'Neill colonies, which are spinning space stations that could serve as future habitations for space travelers by simulating Earth's gravity for their occupants. Who will be the owner of the satellites? And are the travelers going to be travelers or workers? If space travel is required to save humanity, will it be restricted to those with the means to pay? Is it Bezos' time now? As for Amazon, the corporate world holds a different news. Many arrangements prompted speculations that Amazon would be a brutal and competitive place to work. Corporate and blue-collar workers at Amazon have criticized the company's treatment of employees in recent years. During the pandemic, scrutiny heightened, and a crucial union vote at an Amazon facility in Alabama was perceived as a crisis in the relationship between the business and its employees. In his final annual letter as CEO, Bezos acknowledged that there was still opportunity for improvement. Bezos' strategy for running Amazon was successful. Bezos led Amazon to disrupt industry after industry, beginning with retail and the way books are read, moving on to data storage and devices with artificial intelligence. With a current market cap of more than $1.7 trillion, Amazon is one of the biggest corporations in the world. With more than 1.3 million employees globally and hundreds of thousands of new hires each year, Amazon may soon overtake Walmart as the largest employer in the world. The most unflattering portrayal of Bezos is as the founder of Amazon, a super rich boss who overworks his staff and hasn't always paid his fair share of federal income taxes. But for Bezos, space took precedence. He recalls seeing the moon landing of Apollo 11 on his family television when he was 5 years old. And as his high school's valedictorian, he spoke about the significance of space travel. If Bezos were any other person, his space voyage would be a straightforward and happy tale of a dream realized. And with that, we come to the end of this video. Let us know in the comments what you think of the future of space travel. And don't forget to give us a like, share, and subscribe so that we can bring you the best content.